Reach for the sky, boy.
Hey everybody, welcome to Peaches and Power Bombs. I am Majestic Marie, one of your hosts. To my left is my co-host Alora. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
And as you can see, we have a little bit of a gathering today. It's not for the greatest of causes. Usually, we would probably be really excited about the Royal Rumble and doing something for that, and we might add a couple thoughts about that at the end. But here at the beginning, we're going to talk about Jay Briscoe and his tragic passing and kind of what he's meant to wrestling, meant to us personally, and things like that. So, Laura, we'll go ahead and start with you.
It was definitely a shock. It's a huge loss to not only just pro wrestling, tag team wrestling. Um, even, even though they might not have made it to WWE or whatever, they didn't need WWE. They were very well known around the world as is, and their legacy and their body of work speaks for themselves. And that was very apparent, especially as the tributes came pouring in. But yeah, it's very sad, and you know, I'm very thankful that his daughters are recovering. Last I saw on Wrestling Inc. I think from what I saw, it said a head-on collision. I was in a head-on collision 5 years ago, and well, almost 6 years ago now. But thankfully, everybody walked away from that one, and it goes to show you, you not everybody is lucky, and it's a very very scary experience. And honestly, when it happened, I thought I was dead, but thankfully not. But I hate that it happened to Jay, and I hate it for the other person that died as well. Um, those are never fun, and you know, uh, best thoughts, well wishes, prayers for all involved for sure.
All right, anybody else? Joe?
Yeah, Jay Briscoe and his brother, man, like they didn't need a WWE. They didn't need
Mhm.
Impact. They just had their own stage over there in the Indies, and Geek could be my dang it, Mira. Geek could be my proof. Like he knows. Me and Geek have seen them live multiple times. I've seen them on YouTube and stuff like that, and I've seen them in New York. Those boys, man, it's so sad. What a tragic loss in the Indies and in wrestling. Like as I said, he didn't need WWE. They had Ring of Honor. Like that stage is enough for most indie fans, and his legacy will live on forever. It doesn't matter if he has a Hall of Fame ring at the end of the day. It's our hearts and our memories that will live on forever. He's a legend to us, and he'll be missed. And I'm so glad, as you said, his kids are healing, and it's so sad that they have somebody passed away. Those two passed away. But all my thoughts and prayers go out to his family and his friends and everybody that are like. It's just sad.
Mhm.
Yeah, my first impressions of seeing Jay Briscoe live, I believe, was first I saw him on VHS tape. It was back in 03, 04. They were being managed by Jim Cornette, and he was managing them, and those matches were absolutely incredible. The matches with AJ Styles and Amazing Red, but my first live experience seeing Jay Briscoe live was against Samoa Joe inside a steel cage match,
Oh,
and I will remember that match. It's probably one of my favorite Jay Briscoe matches, and would love to say, Jay, thanks for the memories, man. We will miss you so much, man. So, and thoughts and prayers out to the family as well. So,
Just to kind of add to what Alora said, it was a head-on collision. It was two GM made vehicles. If the police report was accurate, the female driver who was killed crossed into oncoming traffic and hit Jay head on, and he was in a. I believe I remember it saying he was in a 2500, which I mean, if you guys needed size comparison, F-150 to F-250 or 1500, 2500, I, you know, size of vehicle. Reality is they're not too dissimilar in size. It's more about weight capacities and towing capacity is what those ratings are for. Um, she was wearing a seatbelt. He was not. Both girls of Jay's were wearing seatbelts. The injuries to the children were pretty substantial from the reports I read. Uh, I kind of caught some of their Ring of Honor days. Not their newer stuff, but back in the day when Gabe Sapolsky was involved with Ring of Honor. So that era was more my speed for Ring of Honor. I enjoyed that era. The latest Ring of Honor product, not the stuff owned by Tony Khan, but towards the end there when they were based out of Baltimore. The product wasn't all that towards the end, but back in the day when I remember seeing the Briscoe brothers, everybody who's a Cowboys fan, we them boys. Nah, forget that. That's them boys right there.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, y'all can forget it. The NFL lost that hand over fist. Jay and Mark, and it's tragic that Jay passed away on Mark's. It was the day before Mark's birthday, right?
Wow.
Mm.
And then now I believe today is actually Jay's birthday.
That's
Either
I
right.
thought
today
it
or
was
yesterday.
tomorrow.
Is it
Oh,
today?
it's either today or
Dude,
tomorrow. I can't remember.
Okay, it's one of the two. Well, look, Geek is going to look it up for us right now. I can see him moving, so that's probably what he's doing right now.
Research
Um,
geek.
research.
Well, look, I'm not near a keyboard. I'm not doing it. But man, I remember watching them. The dude didn't need to have. God, you know what he reminded me of was like a modern Jake the Snake with his promo, because he didn't have that really distinct voice, or he had a very distinct voice, is what I mean to say. He didn't sound like everybody else. He spoke in layman's terms, and he reached out and got you with his words. His promos were fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed his work. Uh, I enjoy the artistry and the pageantry of professional wrestling. When I hear somebody on a microphone, because most of the time in professional wrestling, I have one of those in my hand as well. I don't. I try to find the patterns that I like and enjoy hearing. There's certain announcers I love and I could listen to all day. I could listen to them read the obituary. I could listen to them read the Inquirer. It wouldn't phase me because their voices that it draws you in. The same goes with him. As great as they were in the ring, Jay was fantastic on the microphone. Um, it is a huge loss, and I've here in the Carolinas, man, the indie scene travels a lot. Like I'm sure you guys know as well up there in the Northeast, how much traveling the indie scene does up there, right? When all of a sudden I've got my friends here and my colleagues here talking about, man, my favorite moment with Jay was this. My favorite moment with Jay was. I'm standing there like, oh God, it's heart wrenching. And they were just here for AML. They were just here for WrestleCade, which was put on by AML. So a boatload of people that I frequently hang out with were with them here. So it's an incredible loss. Promoters I know, shared locker rooms with them. It's unreal. Still to this point, it's unreal.
I know. I did not have the fortune enough, like everyone else here, to be acquainted with Ring of Honor during its glory days, I guess you would say. If it's not on TV, I didn't get a chance to watch it because I didn't know all of the little back stuff with wrestling. I didn't know that you had to like trade DVDs with people in order to get the new stuff. I didn't know any of those things. So a couple years ago, our friend Tom Clark was like, "Hey Tina, hey Majestic Marie, if you like tag team wrestling, go check out the Briscoes from Ring of Honor. They're really awesome." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I looked them up on Facebook, and I found a lot because at this time Ring of Honor was not on television or anywhere like that. So they were posting all of their promos on their social media platforms because that's all they had to get their stuff out. And never seen a match before in my life, never seen these guys at all. I was instantly hooked just like that from like one promo. That's all it took. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I just kept going down the rabbit hole. And it got me so excited about them. It got me excited about their upcoming match with FTR that they were about to have. And I had to buy the Ring of Honor pay per view, the next one, because of those promos. And so I feel so cheated that I'm like, man, I've just got to know these guys. I just got to know Jay pretty much, you know? So I feel I don't have that nostalgia that, oh no, this is someone that I've been watching for years. I feel like I'm over here as the new fan feeling very gypped that I didn't get to experience all that. And yeah. So what do you guys think? AEW just announced that Mark is going to be able to wrestle tomorrow on AEW against Jay Lethal. What do you guys think about that?
Geek, you want to go first?
Go ahead.
I
Geek.
mean, to be honest with you, I have mixed feelings about it. But if Mark is 100% okay to go with the match, and Jay is all 100% to go with the match, I'm all for the match because he just lost his brother, so
Right.
and that is tough to do, to even to go to work after you just lost your brother. I mean, just give it time, but But if Mark is, like I said, if Mark's willing to do the match and Jay is willing to work and perform, I mean, it's good. Yeah.
I will say that Tony Khan did say on Twitter that this match was requested by both men. So, to clarify.
Yeah. Which is good,
Like, if it was me, I would have waited. Like, I would have been like, if I lost, if I was injured or died, I know if we had an interview that week, Geek would be like, I can't do it. Tell the guests we'll do it for nothing. Or if I was injured, God forbid, Geek would be like, can we maybe do the show another time? Joe's hurt. I want to wait a while to get it out of my brain. You know what I mean? Because someone dying kind of messes with your brain, and you're kind of like,
Yeah.
can't think
Well,
anything but that.
Well, I think everybody's different. The one thing I was thinking is the one thing in wrestling in general is there's a mentality of the show must go on, and I think you know I'm thinking maybe they're like, okay, this is what Jay would have wanted, but I don't know them at all or anything, but that would be something that I would just guess at. But the fact that they requested this match, and I mean, it just kind of is kind of like saying, hey, this one's for you, and they in and I'm sure we'll talk about this here shortly, but you know because of whoever owns TBS, they they didn't allow for a proper tribute on TV. They're I guess hey, let's go ahead and do a battle in the ring, do it for Jay and all the fans. So
Alora, you're 100% correct on that. So the AEW had actually presented a tribute, and they wanted to do it on air.
mm-hmm.
Warner Brothers Discovery, which is WBD, I think is what the acronym is. It's Warner Brothers and Discovery Media. Either way, they were against it. They did not allow. Well, so allow me to elaborate a little bit further. If you've recently been following, I went and watched a bunch of Jay and Mark stuff in the last week. If it's popped up on my timeline with them boys, I was watching it, man, because we're not going to get to see anything new. So you want to watch whatever's already been put out, right?
Right.
So they made a remark on there. Jay, as a matter of fact, made a remark about we're not pretty enough for WWE. That's why we won't get signed. Because they went down to NXT, had a tryout back when it was FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling. They had a tryout, and they did so great. It's so great down there. And they should have been signed. They were not cosmetically pleasing. That's the exact words that were used.
Yep.
Now, it's also because of their attitudes. They're not unlike myself. They're real. Not to say that anybody who doesn't talk like I talk or act like I act, not to say that we're not, you're not real. But they are super down to earth guys. They are, when they tell you that they're chicken farmers from that part, they're for real. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. I've been to Delaware, and you've got a couple of areas. You've got the beach area, then you've got the other beach area, and then you've got the countryside. And that's just the way it is. That's it when it comes to Delaware. Well, and you got the casino spot. So there's those four. That's about it. But the casino spot's predominantly like, grandma and grandpa going out there to the casinos. It's not like what you would think, like Vegas. It's not like Vegas.
We need a video of grandma dancing with the money in her hand, running out the door.
They don't win. But anyway, the thing about it there is Warner also had an issue with a statement that he made 10 or 15 years ago or whatever, which, look, I can look at myself and say, good God, 10 years ago, I said some really awful things. And I'm sure 90% of people can. Most people can say they said some pretty terrible things 10 years ago because 10 years ago it was acceptable to say those things. It was okay or even considered funny in the case of stand-up comedy. Look at stand-up comedy now. It's atrocious. It's all boring. It sounds the same. It's monotone, and it's a bunch of stolen jokes that weren't funny the first time they were told. But they're being regurgitated because they don't have any new content. That's reality. Unfortunately, that's the reality we live in. And in this case, Warner Brothers Discovery Media determined that it was not in their best interest to put them boys on display for the world to see because of a couple of comments or the fact that they weren't pretty enough, cosmetically pleasing enough. So now for them to do this, there's two things here. Number one, the outrage was so much from the fans, universally, were pissed about that.
Oh yeah.
That, okay, we're going to give them a 1. We're going to give them this. I think that's great for AEW for putting it on, but reality is that it still rubs me the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had the chance to meet Mark J or Jay, but I'm hopeful that this is going to be something good. I'll be watching tomorrow night, you know, and I just hope it's a good tribute to him. That's the long and the short of it.
Right.
But reality is, God, Warner Media. Sorry, guys, you missed the boat, and now you're
Yeah.
coming into You're coming into shore late.
Right.
Did you watch the ROH tribute show or no?
I haven't got around to it yet.
No.
I read some of the spoilers, but there's some key people missing in that tribute show.
I legitimately these days I'm working between 20 and 21 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a little like when I saw that, I was like, really? It's okay now that he's gone, and now you're doing this. It just that I was like, that's gotta sting, and his wife, that's gotta hurt her too. And but I think for Mark, I think it's more of I'm paying. This is a way of getting through the pain, the initial
Yes.
pain, because a pro wrestler is a whole different animal than us. We want to, kind of shy away. Their way of getting through it is to get into that ring and give it everything that they got. That's their mentality, from what I can see anyway. And you just got to let him. We're going to be there to support him so he can have that moment for his brother.
And the sad thing is, the wrestling community forgave him too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing that baffles me.
What I want to bring up to elaborate on what Saint said, they have made the comment that they were not cosmetically pleasing, and the Saint said that they were real. I mean, they were as real as they come. And I think that's one of the reasons why they were so popular with fans, because what you saw is what you got. And I think that resonated so well, not only with just the fans, but just their overall characters. Because you I remember when I heard of them in the past, and then when I actually saw them on TV a few years ago, and I was like, they know how to get your attention, and for a lack of a better term, they don't bullshit around. I mean, they're a no bullshit tag team, and they
I,
lived the gimmick, as they said.
I want to point out I was not the first person to cuss tonight. Thank you.
So, but
Children, don't repeat those words.
yes.
No, bad. Those words are bad.
And but
Keep
yeah,
keeping up
so
again.
I've heard from some, because I have wrestling friends too. I've heard and the unanimous comment that I keep hearing is how respectful he was in the locker room. Um, I've heard that he was professional, and and held it down. So I mean, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that point up. That's why that not in addition to them being amazing at what they did in the ring and their promo work and stuff, but they literally were their gimmick, and people love that. You don't see that a lot.
Yep.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and show our tribute video to Jay, and then I'll get to some comments, and then we can talk a few more minutes, and then maybe we we can move on to something a little bit more lighthearted if you guys want to. But I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over now and show our video.
They just had a classic match with FTR. Did they really? Yeah. 5-star classic. Did they win? No. Then who gives a shit? I don't care. I don't care.
I'm just sitting here. I got time. It's clear to see from up here. The world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful. You and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Got Davey Richards walking around with his little title belt and a mouthpiece in. It's pro wrestling, son. Hey, brother, hey, Terry Funk ain't wearing no mouthpiece. Hell no, Terry Funk ain't wearing no damn mouthpiece. Bruiser Brody ain't wearing no mouthpiece. Doing your little jujitsu, getting focused and shit. Talking about I'm focused. I'm kicking this bag, I'm focused for my match. Shit, that's where we different, boys. We a different type of people. We ain't got time to be focused. Focused. Shit, we live on a farm. We gotta get shit done. We ain't got time walking around being focused. Does it look like stable thoughts go through my mind? Do I look like a rational thinker to you? Once we get a phone call. Apparently, the Briscoes are not cosmetically pleasing enough for the WWE. That exact word. Come on now. Exact words. Cosmetically pleasing. Well, excuse me, Mr. John Laurinaitis. I forgot this was a damn beauty contest.
They highly concerned. You know what they're concerned about? What's that? They're concerned about their legacy.
They're their legacy.
Their legacy.
They gonna cement their legacy. Bitch, I cement the driveway and get paid for that shit.
Hey, you know
y'all
what
talk
I'm concerned
crazy,
with?
man.
You know what I'm concerned?
He's done it! He has done it! Jay Briscoe!
The winner and new Ring of Honor World Champion, Jay Briscoe. Reach for the sky, boy.
Great video.
Very great.
Did awesome. You did awesome with that.
Great
Justin.
tribute. Love it. A lot of sour language, but great. That's the Briscoes.
Remember, they're real, right?
Those boys are real, and like Jay will be missed. Like that boy, as you said, like he is like the new age Jake Roberts. He can hit you with a line, and it'll have you thinking so long you'll be thinking about it the next day. You know what I mean? Like
I,
next,
I was with Joe when Jay Briscoe and Mark faced the Young Bucks for the tag titles at the Hammerstein Ballroom.
oh yeah,
And we watched that match together, and we like this match is so freaking good. You know,
yep. We were in the upper deck. We were in our own little area.
we weren't in the upper deck. We were on like a private. We were in like a private box, dude.
Yeah, I called that the upper deck.
That's still the That's the skyboxes.
Yeah.
Is what it's called.
We were in the Bullet
The-
Club skybox, as we call it, because everywhere we looked, there was the Bullet Club flag. We're like, we don't have a Bullet Club shirt on.
And
We
you
were
couldn't
in
have
the
been in a
W-
more iconic arena for those guys.
There we go.
I mean,
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I agree entirely. The Hammerstein Ballroom, man, it's a place I want to see before I die.
It's dude.
Definitely.
There's an upper deck area that's closed off because it's still the wooden bleachers.
I want to sit there.
That's what I'm saying, geek. Imagine, but just don't make sure you like get to weigh yourself before you get there, because you know those bleachers.
I'm little.
They were on the card back in November for the Ricky Steamboat match thing.
Oh wow.
I think it was them versus Rock and Roll Express,
Mm.
and it was in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I was trying so hard to get my dad to go, but he was in a lot of pain that week. So he was like, I don't really want to go. And then I was trying to get my husband to take me too because he's a big Ricky Steamboat fan. And I was like, please, can we go? And like FTR is there, Ricky Steamboat is there. I was like, the Briscoes are there, the not Midnight, but the Rock and Roll Express are there. Please, 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 can we go? Can we take a wrestling field trip, please? And he's
You,
like, no, I can't go. And now I'm like so upset that I didn't get to go because I.
I will, I will tell you one thing about Ricky Morton.
I've met him. He's a
You
sweetheart.
cannot ask to meet a nicer, more humble person on this planet
Ricky Morton
than
is
him.
amazing.
I was let into the locker room with them. They had a private locker room at a show we worked. So it's Ricky and Carrie, not Robert. Robert wasn't there. Stan Hansen, Bobby Fulton, Jackie Fulton. The Fultons, his kid wasn't there. The youngest wasn't there. He was in the crowd still, and me. And I'm like, do you? I was just in there like so timid to ask because I remember watching Ricky with my I'm the youngest of 5. So I watched Ricky with my brothers and they knew all about it and I didn't know anything. So I'm standing in here with these guys that my brothers grew up loving and adoring. And sir, how would you don't sir me? All right, Mr. Morton. Damn it, boy. I'm like, whoa. It's like, it's like, man, I was like, look, I said, I got something special for you, man. Just tell me y'all's tag team weight. And they were so cool about it. Ricky Morton is, I swear to you, as nice a person you could ever want to meet on this planet.
I second that because I met him at a show a couple years ago. Him and Robert both. So
That's
they're
cool.
really, really sweet.
We heard from Riley Rocket about Ricky Morton. She's like, she raved about him. Like, Ricky?
Yeah, all
Like,
yeah, all
that was the whole. If you guys, ladies, ever get a chance to interview anybody, try to get Riley Rocket on you to interview Riley Rocket.
I've seen her on local shows before. I don't think
She
I've seen her in person.
She's a nice person, super sweet, super
Yeah.
cool. Like, that's why she's on that's why she's on NWA. That woman is trained by the best, and that's all she needs. Boom, energy right there.
I wanted to go ahead and go to the comments right quick if y'all don't mind. I don't want everybody to feel like we're ignoring them. It's been
We can barely hear you though.
What?
I can hear you.
I can barely hear her.
Yeah, it's a little low. Yeah,
Really? Can y'all hear me now?
it's like your thing's unplugged, and you have
It's
a
a
microphone.
little better to me.
Hang on.
You sound fine to me.
I think it's just I was just saying personally it was just
it did sound low to me too, but it's okay. Go on, Alora.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I wanted to go to the comments right quick and Timothy, yes, Jay did apologize for his comments and like we said earlier, he was forgiven. Thomas, hello, how are you doing? He said that he had met the Briscoes at WrestleCade and that they were really great guys. That is awesome. Shane, my favorite Briscoes match was Jay versus Mark for the Ring of Honor title, and the Briscoes versus Kevin Steen and
El Generico.
Oh, El Generico. Okay, yes. Okay, yeah.
Amazing match.
I bet it was. Yeah, I love the farm promos too, Shane. And thank you, Timothy. I don't
They're
try
the
to be
best.
funny, but
So Thomas, when you're done, I'll tell you about Thomas.
All right. Alma, thank you. Reno, how you doing? Good to see
Hey,
you.
what's up? I got a really
All
good
right.
football shirt on today. I got the best team in
That's my
Louisiana.
brother.
Apparently, that's what Undertaker said to Bray Wyatt last night. He was talking about Reno. I think he was talking about our podcast too, but I can't. Go ahead.
He was whispering "fight me" in his ear. I know that.
So, are you caught up?
Yes.
So, Thomas Scott is a promoter here in the. He's actually in the Charlotte, North Carolina market,
Okay.
and I've worked. He's actually the show I worked for when I read Ricky and Carrie, and Sam Houston and all them cats. And he called me that day when he was heading to WrestleCade. Brother, come with me. Let's go to WrestleCade. I had some things going on here at the casa, you know. So I didn't go. I kicked myself in the absolute butt for not going. But so he called me and told me that night that he was talking to them. He was talking to a whole bunch of people because he was like, I'm wanting to bring these guys here because they're so cool. He said you're gonna love them because I'm his announcer for Titan Entertainment, which is
I got you.
Pro Wrestling Savage and Titan Wrestling Southside. And I was like, hey man, look, any chance I can get to announce anybody, I'm there. I don't care. I just want to be here. I by far, if you wanted to talk about a promoter with heart, that dude's got one of the biggest hearts you're ever going to see in independent wrestling.
Wait, there's another
He
Savage
loves
wrestling.
this stuff. Dude, that guy, I'm telling you, like, I've worked for 12 companies last year,
Oh wow.
and everybody, busy. Everybody's good. Everybody I've worked with, I'd say 10 out of 12 is great, right? The other two, not so much. But as far as heart goes, you can't beat it. Not with Thomas. Thomas Scott's got the biggest heart in independent professional wrestling of anybody I've ever met in my life.
Sounds
That is
familiar.
awesome.
I think I've seen him on Instagram. Maybe not, but his name's
Possibly, he used to go by Thomas Grimm,
He was a
and
wrestler at one point.
yeah, he was a wrestler.
Okay, bald head.
Yes, yes,
He was in our. I think we've spoken or we're started speaking on Instagram.
possibly. And before that, I think he was called Dizzy.
Okay.
But yeah, he knew everybody. When I tell you he knew everybody, I mean like this dude will hand you two check stubs, one signed by Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the other one signed by Ted Turner. This dude knew everybody.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I would have those things framed top to bottom or side to side.
Man.
in my room. That's what I would do. Forget that.
Dude, my man knows everybody. I'm telling you, like he knows everybody.
Mm,
Insane.
yeah.
Wow. So any more words for Jay or the Briscoe brothers before we maybe lighten up the room a little bit?
Greatest to ever do it.
May he rest in peace, and his legacy will live on forever through the in the wild world of the YouTube box. And if anybody needs to talk, look us up on Instagram, Dudes at Ringside, and we will make you feel better because friendship is the best thing. And just remember, always tell your friends you love them. Always. You never know when you'll never get a chance to say anything to your friend until they're gone.
Tomorrow's not promised, for
Yeah.
sure.
It's not.
The one and only thing I have to say is this. Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe, brother. We reach for the sky, and here's to you.
But
Oh man. Ugh. Okay. That's really all we had planned like officially for tonight, but we do have a few more minutes. So, did anybody? We'll go ahead and switch and maybe talk a few minutes about last night. Did anybody have a chance to watch Monday Night Raw last night?
I watched bits and pieces of it last night, so
I watched the first hour.
I watched
Okay,
most
so
of it till I fell asleep right before the main event, but that was due to exhaustion, not being bored.
yeah, the main event was really good. So there's a little bit of controversy going on about a lot of people are critiquing it that there wasn't enough women stuff on there, and the ones that they did have planned got cut. And while I agree that they could have been a little bit better about what to cut, the Cody Rhodes promo video package again
Sorry. No
instead of the
disrespect,
cage
Cody.
match, but I'm not in charge of it, so there it goes. But besides all of that, go
I
ahead.
agree. They should have done something different with the Bianca. In my opinion, they should have done something different with the Bianca and Sonya thing because that match made no sense to begin with. Sonya's on SmackDown, and so is Charlotte. They should have just had Charlotte and Bianca knock her around a little bit. Like I said earlier in our chat room, knock her around a little bit, hit their finishers, and how's your mother? It's over. They could have done the cage match and cut that segment way down. My
Yeah, they
opinion.
could have kept the promo part, and then maybe both of them exchanged doing their finishers on Sonya, and then just walked away. That match got 2 segments: the Sonya and the Bianca match.
Which
so
really wasn't that impressive. Bianca's good, Sonya's okay, but in my estimation, no. They don't need 2 segments.
With they've been doing really good with some of the women's feuds that they've been having on Raw. So I guess they were due to slip up, unfortunately, like I said, I only seen the first hour last night, and after the Becky and Bailey bit, I was like, oh man, seriously, let me go to bed. I'm tired. I'm pushing 40. Bedtime comes early. So
I go to sleep early too. Don't Joe knows this one. It's like
He's grandpa. He's grandpa. Grandpa needs his NyQuil. His phone goes
by 6:30 kids. That's it. I'm done.
His cell phone.
Oh.
You see the moon appear on his phone, and me and Geek's other friend goes, Grandpa's sleeping. Gotta close the door. Grandpa, do you have your NyQuil? Well, I remember my Grandpa, go to bed. Slowly close the door. Grandpa's sleeping.
But other than that, the show overall was actually very well done. I think it's the best way to handle, like, it wasn't a Legends night, but it was a Legends night. I think that's the best quote unquote Legends night I've ever seen.
I think too, you needed to have that balance because, we got a lot of stuff going on leading up to Rumble and eventually Mania. And with that being said as well, the Sami Zayn trial, I from start to finish, that whole thing was brilliant. I mean, like, oh my god, and I hate that Becky and Bailey had to pay the price for that. Holy crap, that was, it was amazing. I loved it.
Lately, he just hasn't been very oozy.
I hope this leads to Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, which I'm hoping for.
I'm all over that for sure.
It'd be
I have
kind
a
of cool.
feeling.
I'm sorry. It'd be kind of cool, be kind of weird at the same time. If for some reason all of them are in the ring and they're doing like a pose and somebody pushes Sami Zayn and knocks him all over the top rope. And Sammy's like...
I mean, that was actually a prediction I had stated, was that they were either they'll eliminate him from the Rumble and that'll set up the turn. But I have a feeling you're going to see, if we're getting KO at this point versus Roman, I think at the Elimination Chamber, you're going to have Sammy versus Roman. Then at Mania, you'll have KO and Sammy win the tag titles from the Usos. Fair enough,
That-
right?
That's another option too.
I think that's where we're going.
Yeah.
The thing I see that too. I think though if they're not careful, if they don't do it the right way, they could have the fans turn on them big time. It'll be like the Daniel Bryan and Batista thing all over again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you know, and at that time, because I remember doing an article on my own site about it at the time. I don't have it now, but you know, everybody blamed Batista for that, and it wasn't his idea, and and the whole thing wasn't his fault. And
No.
so yeah, you know, hopefully that won't be the case this time, because we really don't know what we're getting at WrestleMania yet. There's so many rumors, and
Cody.
Cody. I have
so-
a feeling that
strap.
I think that Cody's going to win the Rumble. They're gosh, I love Cody, but they're making me sick of him with all of these videos.
Oh gosh, every
There's
commercial.
too many of them. There's too many of them.
So back in the day, remember? All right, sorry, Majestic. I'm gonna show your age versus my age here. But back in the day, we had these things called vignettes that were all the time.
My word.
Every show had vignettes, and then the Saturday morning Superstars show, you had a ton of vignettes and like 2 or 3 matches sprinkled in that hour or 2-hour program.
I wouldn't mind if it wasn't the same one
It was
every time.
week. It was the same ones every week for months and months on end because they were building to the debut. I remember Tatanka's debut. I remember Razor Ramon's debut. Shoo.
Yokozuna's. I remember Yokozuna's.
Yes, Yokozuna's. Lex Luger when he came out as not the narcissist Lex Luger, but the Patriot version of Lex
I remember
Luger.
that.
Yeah, you remember the vignettes?
Remember the Goldust ones? Oh my god! I
Oh
love
my god, yes. It's still, in my opinion, one of the best characters of the '90s by a long shot was Goldust.
Goldust is still great.
I agree.
You
I
can't
agree.
stop Goldust. Katie's on the screen.
And
Even-
look, I
like
still think that
vignettes.
Terry Runnels is beautiful. So there's that.
I like vignettes, and I think that's a great way to introduce the character and everything. I don't know, and most of the time I don't mind them. I don't know why it's bothering me so much in this particular incident. I don't know if it's because I already knew he was coming, or if it's like the same thing over and over and over again. I don't know what it is, but it's bothering me this time.
Well, that makes sense.
'Cause I grew up in the 90s too, and we had vignettes over and over and over and over and over again. I was
Well,
like,
I mean,
oh, okay, I can't wait for this guy to come on or whatever, and now I'm just like,
Well, you know, they had the Veer Mahan vignettes for
Oh,
like
jeez.
a year. Before
that
they
doesn't
had
count.
him on. And now, where is he? We don't know. No clue. No idea.
Jeez.
Gone.
Yikes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna say that Cody versus Goldust is probably one of my favorite Goldust matches, and proves that Goldust could still go in the ring if he chooses to.
Are you talking about actually Cody and Goldust?
No,
No,
Dustin,
no,
Dustin,
no.
Dustin. Okay.
Dustin.
I was about to
Gotcha.
say.
So even QT will, kind of talk about when QT was doing a seminar. I was there testing equipment, and you'll hear him talk about, Dustin, and you'll hear him talk about Cody, and he talks about them kind of like in passing, so that way it's not like, well, Cody said you need to do this. He'll use them as an example.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fantastic the way he presents information. His seminar was phenomenal. I was there and just listening because I am not a wrestler. And I was testing my equipment to get ready for the show that night. But
Testing
when
mics.
you hear him talk about stuff like that and you hear him talk about the referees and the differences between like AEW and the indies and this and that, he puts everything into perspective. And he quoted saying, or he was saying how Dustin is really good about that because Dustin's been everywhere from the 80s to now.
Yeah.
So he was able to use Dustin and Dustin's experience secondhand to help teach the next generation of youngsters. I've seen some of the kids that come out of the Nightmare Factory. If y'all don't know who Marcus Erics is, you will very soon. I promise. Kid's got a phenomenal look. He looks like a Dragon Ball Z character in my book, but he's awesome looking. And his work rate, wow. Loved it.
There's a lot of people we had from the Nightmare Factory on the podcast.
That's awesome. Kids.
Yeah.
Go to indie wrestling shows.
If I could be a fly on the wall for those seminars, man.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Hey man, look.
If flies had
Hey, all right.
flies wore striped shirts, there you go.
There are some that that Al Snow has done in the past, and they're recorded and on YouTube. And sometimes I'll just sit there and watch them and take notes.
When you have a person in professional wrestling who's on television and willing to teach you, and he's not just telling you about the match parts, this dude, I'm not going into detail because, oh my God, I'll never get hired again if I go too far with this. The reality is he didn't just break down the good guy, bad guy spot. He turned at the referee and said, you get over here and you don't move, and this is why. And like, he laid out everything. There wasn't a missing piece of the puzzle from he pointed at the wall like, that's the hard camera, okay? And then look, over here's the camera guy, and then this and that. He put everything out. He's like, and then you got to know the hot side of the ring, the hot crowd. So there's a side of the ring that's hotter than the other side, and you want to placate more to them because they're going to be louder and elevate the whole room and the video because of that. Dude, it was ridiculous, the amount of knowledge I picked up. I was testing my equipment and still picked this crap up.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, seminars, while some people make fun of them, they are especially when you got young talent that's trying to get to that level, man, it's everything they want and more. And if they were smart and they turn themselves into a sole proprietorship, that becomes a business expense. It becomes a write-off. That's called the business of the business.
Who would make fun of a seminar? That's a way of learning.
Oh my God, you don't even want to know. And I'm not going to say it's predominantly the old school guys because it's not, but there are some people who are so stuck on the old ways of this business that things like seminars and you talk about, if you go on air and you talk about, well, they were in the back working out their mat. Well, that just blew the secret of it. But I hate to break it to you, the secret's been out for like 30 years because of everything else. But it is what it is. In my opinion, the seminars are great for guys to learn. It doesn't matter if you're heel, face, ref, camera guy, or announcer. It doesn't make a difference. If you're involved in wrestling and you can be around a seminar, it's worth being there just so you can pick up on extra things and you carry that with you. So no matter where you go, you're still a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
So real quick before we leave, last minute Royal Rumble picks. I know we kind of already touched on it, but we'll just go around the panel and say, oh, we're going to do the women's first, and then we'll do the men's, and then we'll kind of read some more comments and then go off. Geek, we'll start with you. Women's Royal Rumble, who's your pick?
Women's Royal Rumble. Oh man, who's in it right now?
You gotta start watching women's wrestling, dude.
I'm not. I've been watching WWE too much though, but I'm gonna go with Becky Lynch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe?
It's funny because Geek just said Becky Lynch because she returned. I think we all think it'll be Becky, the last person in the ring, and then here comes Bailey popping up from under the ring and shoves her out, and Bailey wins the Royal Rumble.
Bailey, interesting.
That is an interesting theory.
Because Bailey's crazy. You'll think she's not. She thinks she was eliminated, and ding dong, she'll be hiding under the ring, and ding dong, hello, there goes Bailey.
My dark horse is Io though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alora?
Let's say Rhea Ripley.
Saint?
I'm going to go completely out of left field and say Liv Morgan.
Wow.
Hey, I can't hate that.
I love Liv Morgan.
As long as it's not Ronda Rousey.
Oh, jeez.
You never know. She might be number 30.
Look, I'll even give you the Orange Cassidy version. I appreciate that message. Not Ronda Rousey.
She might be number 30. It might be even Stephanie McMahon is number 30. You never know.
Isn't she injured? Didn't she have a hurt leg or something?
Better with that.
Yeah, she just had surgery.
I saw that. I was like, who?
Yeah, ankle surgery.
Rhea Ripley is my pick too. But
I think Mina's saying Rhea Ripley too.
Yeah.
Are y'all looking for any surprises at all?
I can see Alita or Trish. I don't know. I think we're gonna get Alita or Trish appearance in the Rumble. Maybe even a Ivy.
I think we'll get the Bellas. I don't think we're getting what's the Undertaker's wife? Michelle McCool. Ooh, surprise entrant Brandy Rhodes. I like that one. Good call, man. Good call. What was that, Shane? Was that Sugar Shane Odom? That was Sugar Shane. Hell yeah. There we go. All right, Sugar Shane. I agree.
Earlier. Yes.
You know Sugar Shane, right?
Oh, look, it's Ray Cole.
It is.
Yeah, Ray Cole is here.
Yeah.
You did.
I was trying to do a silent one so I didn't have to play it, and then AEW comes after you like hornets. I was like,
Oh my god.
I'll be your quiet announcement.
I mean, Mickey,
Beth I can see.
Beth I can see as well, especially Beth eliminating Rhea, which sets, there we go. Beth eliminates Rhea, which sets us up for Mania. We get Edge and Beth versus
Dominic.
I picked two out of the Judgment Day.
Rhea
Finn
Dominic.
and Finn and Rhea. No, not Dom, because Dom is not on the level of being in the ring with Edge at Mania. I am sorry, but he is not. I like Dominic Mysterio as a person. I really do, but he is pre-show at best for Mania.
But he was in the ring with Rollins.
I could see like a 8-man going on with this, but then again, it's Mania. We'll see.
The OC joining Edge.
I like that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
But that'd be, I don't know. That doesn't equal enough. Oh well, AJ's hurt. AJ's hurt. That makes sense.
Yes.
Oh, is he?
AJ's out.
Yes.
I can do this. I'm in. Alora, you got me. I'm convinced. I bought, sold. Look, here's my wallet. Take me. Let's go. Look, I'm in.
All right. My surprise entrant would be Chelsea Green and Kairi Sane.
I don't see that happening. With
We have
Chelsea. I like.
But which one? Do you think they'll make her own character, or do you think they'll go back to what she was, that bland character that she had in WWE?
No, the New Japan character. We're gonna have the New Japan character because You know,
Oh,
I
talking
feel
about
there's
Kyrie,
Kyrie, yeah.
Not Kari, the other one he said.
Chelsea
Oh.
Green.
Yeah, the Chelsea Green character.
I definitely think Nikki Bella will be one because she's about to have a show on E.
Yeah, about her getting
yeah.
married.
Yeah,
Married.
we're getting
Yeah.
we're getting a E True Hollywood special on Nikki Bella getting married.
She has a
And-
ceremony. She's not actually married.
I didn't watch the Bellas show. I didn't watch the Divas show. I'm not gonna watch this show.
Me neither.
I don't watch Barmageddon because she's abysmal.
I watched it and I got bored.
Well,
Farmageddon's
the first
okay.
season of Total Divas was good, but after we kind of noticed that they weren't lining up the matches with the story on the show, I kind of just lost it for me. So
My surprise is Naomi.
Ooh,
yeah,
good
good
call.
one.
I like that. We could see a Sasha out of that too. You know,
I
Thunder
think,
Rosa.
I don't think so.
the scent. This look. You see how all four of you were like, I don't think so, because the scent is gone. That just makes it that much better of a surprise for me.
Yeah, I can't hate that. Yeah,
Look,
Naomi is definitely a good one.
Look at what happened. Hold on. To give you an idea, look at what happened on the Hardys. The Hardy Boys returned to Mania, right? They went and lost one tag title, then they lost the next one to the Young Bucks in a ladder match the very night before. All of a sudden, that music hit, and everybody and their brother was doing this crap right here and humping the air because here came the Hardy Boys out. Yes.
I was one of them.
Yeah, same freaking.
I was there.
Into tears.
I was there. So.
Oh, you man, that's awesome. I've never been to a major show. I've been to like Raw. I've been to Raw and a house show, and that's
is like something else. And actually, it's funny. My mom.
You're right.
Yeah. It's something.
All
It's
right.
on my bucket list. It is on my bucket list.
Men's Rumble. Who we got?
Ooh.
Who we got?
Ooh.
Almost says Thunder Rosa for the women's. That would be.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, Thunder Rosa. You know, Triple H does get in contact with rando people.
No, Timothy, I hate to burst your bubble. No, I don't think the Mister would appreciate that.
My back is too screwed up for that, honey.
Men's Rumble.
Trying to keep it.
Majestic
Marie she's trying to keep it kayfabe. Majestic Marie. We know you're secretly training for the Rumble. There you go.
That's what that DDP yoga's been about. Self high five.
She's flipping the bags of rice over the car. She's running to get all the bags from the car on her shoulders. Like running up the stairs, down the stairs.
Libby and I did join a gym, so.
We know.
Yeah, me too, but only if you put G and Y in front of the M at McDonald's. That's the only gym I've joined.
Right. That's a good one.
I don't eat that crap. Well, occasionally. It's the only thing open sometimes when I leave shows.
Did this podcast get sponsored by McDonald's?
I know
No, sponsored by Monster.
No.
I know the pain, Stain. I know the pain.
I don't know, man. I wrote a business thing for a different company, but it wasn't Monster. What the heck? I just got something sent to me. Hold on, I can't read.
All right, men's
Sorry.
Rumble. Who we got winning that?
Unfortunately, I see Cody Rhodes winning, like you said it, Marie. It's kind of sad, but everybody else seems kind of mid right now, and Cody seems a little like believable.
Right?
Is that the way to say it? Like
the projected pick, Cody Rhodes. The wild card pick, because nobody seems to know The Rock. But what everybody wants is Sami Zayn to win the Rumble.
Oh, please, that'd be
Why
great.
not both?
Oh, God.
Why not both? Why not have Cody win the Rumble, Sammy won the Elimination Chamber, and then Seth wins the title. You get Cody versus Seth, Sammy versus Roman.
Ooh, there we go.
That would require
Vers-
Roman Reigns losing a match before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not
That-
sure if that's the right thing to do.
You just got squished, Geek.
Cody's gonna win the strap at Mania from Roman, and that's the bottom line.
Because the Saints
Because
said
Austin's
so.
gonna hit him with a stunner.
I still think Cody could get screwed at Mania. He could win Money in the Bank and get screwed. I see this as, he's already faced trials and tribulations with this pectoral injury. He could lose the Royal Rumble for all we know too. So we'll see. We'll see what they do Saturday.
Here's where I come into play on these. I need you to logically tell me who else could it be. And it makes some sort of sense. Because other than the crap that happened with what's the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy? Help me out here. Dave Bautista. Yeah, other than the stuff that happened with Batista winning, logically, there isn't a better winner than Cody Rhodes. There's nobody that makes any sort of sense to go against Roman Reigns other than Cody.
Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense when Sammy's going to challenge him at Elimination Chamber, bro. Sorry.
Well, he could not challenge him at Elimination Chamber match, and
okay,
that would
well,
be
I-
when the Bloodline makes their final turn on
Don't
them.
forget, the Elimination Chamber is taking place in Montreal.
Exactly. Hence the reason that's where Sammy Uso will challenge the head of the table, in my opinion. And look, and I could be 100% wrong. And if I am, hey, guess what? Congrats. I was wrong.
See,
Oh, well. I'm going to be
what's
entertained
great.
anyway.
This is what's great about wrestling when it's done right, because we're sitting here
We
thinking
have no
about
idea.
it.
I know.
Sami Zayn wins the title in Montreal.
This is
There you
why
go.
I love Royal Rumble season. Because there's so many rumors, there's so many things going on.
Does anybody have any surprises for the Rumble? Any predictions on surprises? Joe,
I got one. I got Matt Cardona's in the Rumble.
that was mine.
Good one.
That was
That would
mine.
be big.
Imagine?
Nope.
Dude, everybody will lose their minds like when the Hardy Boys came out at WrestleMania. But what song would you give him? A new rock song or woo woo woo? I hate this.
What
His-
about I
his
got another
Cardona song?
I got another one for you. Nick Aldis.
Yes!
That's a good choice though. That is a good surprise right there.
Yes!
Because no one's
Yes.
talking about him. No one's talking about him.
I
right
know.
now.
That's why I picked him.
Yes!
Well,
I feel like we're going to get Nick Aldis in WWE. And I don't care about what Billy Corgan said. He's a pain in the butt backstage. Who cares? Dude, have you not met these people backstage? I'm telling you, most of everybody in the backstage, including me, is a pain in the ass. So it is what it is. Everybody backstage is a pain in the ass. It's okay. I have a job to do. I'm going to be a pain in your butt until I can get my job done. Sorry,
Because
that's life.
everybody's passionate about what they're doing, so of course they're a pain in the butt.
Exactly.
They're
Exactly.
not a heartless drone going,
No.
"Ya thur,"
No.
"Ya thur, ya thur, her."
And I didn't know Effie from Adam, right? I didn't know who Effie was. I knew of Effie. So I'm back in the back trying to get everybody's stuff written down. And I'm like, hey, I'm looking for Effie. He's standing next to me, and I had no idea. So I felt so bad. And he just started laughing. He goes, it's me, buddy. And I'm like, oh, okay, what's up? Where are you from? What's your weight? And how do you want this done? He goes, this is Effie. Thank you, my man. And that was the end of it. Dude, the most electric person you ever want in your life, because his energy bleeds into you the moment he steps in that ring. It's unreal. So what I'm saying is everybody's like that backstage. Everybody's got their own thing.
Mm.
I don't care what Billy Corgan said. Nick Aldis is my pick for surprise entrant.
Shane, I really don't want this to happen that way.
What?
I would.
Oh, that
No.
would piss me off. Sorry.
Ooh.
That's horrible.
Imagine.
So now we're
Imagine
getting a. So we get KO versus the Miz at Saudi? Or no, well, it'd be Montreal. Well, the Miz could lose in Montreal because it's the Miz. The Miz can lose.
So
You don't go here is the next thing we need to hear.
Yeah.
You don't even go here.
No.
Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Don't fight me!
You
almost
deserve
made
that,
it.
Spirit, because you
almost
stole my
made it.
phrase. You stole my phrase. Back in the day.
Who
Does
did?
Thank
Does
you.
do I have to
guys.
clarify to the microphone world and the podcast world? Geek already knows. I'm Mr. Old School on the podcast.
Timothy, we're seeing your comments. They just we got so much to talk about, and he says Geeks winning the Rumble, y'all. He's going to be
Yeah.
the
He'd be
president.
hiding
Yes.
under the ring and throwing his little steamboat.
Geeks win the Rumble. All right.
Wait a minute. Who stole what? I
You
missed
called
that,
yourself
Joe.
old school. That's a fight me right there.
Who did?
You did. You're like, I'm old school. I'm like,
I said that?
yeah, you
My
said
bad.
you're old school. I was like,
Oh, dude, I'm way too many deep into this bottle. I'm sorry. My bad. Look at that. I've dented the heck out of that thing. My bad, y'all. I apologize. If I stole your thunder, I'm sorry.
you're okay,
No, you're
dude.
good.
Old schools are everybody.
Joe, we need to invite this guy on for a podcast month,
Oh,
man.
podcast? You know, he already got it. Right? He doesn't even need to go in the DMs. We have our own DM.
Hey, look. Other than the fact that I'm doing, look.
The peaches too. The peaches too.
Is there a way that we could both do a show at the same time together tomorrow?
I don't got nothing planned.
Tomorrow's a Wednesday. No, we could all.
Oh
do
no,
it.
not tomorrow. My bad. It'd be Thursday.
Thursday I think we got planned, Joe. We
have an awesome. Can I announce what's going on? Well, when we do the closings, I want to do a fun announcement.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go ahead and use that as a segue into going into closing. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
'cause I think we're-
Wait.
we're
I
done.
didn't choose my pick for who's gonna
Oh,
win.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
see how
Geek.
Geek has forgotten.
Sorry,
I
Geek.
forget in the corner here. I say Cody, and then I say Sammy, and I say surprises. I'm gonna say Jay White's a surprise, or it may be his last time. The Great Muta.
Oh, that'd be
That
so
would be
good.
Nice.
Triple H.
Can we just get all of the above, please?
Like,
Dude,
but what number would
seriously.
you have him come in? Like 6 or early or late?
27.
27.
Yeah.
Hell
A little bit late, just because
People
just lose.
let people like
Sugar
after they
Shane
get their
says
beers.
Logan Paul.
Shane, I'm okay with that, Sugar Shane. I am okay with Logan Paul being in there because Logan Paul, for 3 matches in, I'm all in.
He's
I'm
hurt?
Well, I haven't done mine either, Geek.
Oh,
so-
jeez.
Yeah.
I think the obvious choices are either Cody or Sammy at this point. And then I think my surprise is going to be Pat McAfee.
Okay, yeah.
yes, I love that
Nice.
too.
And that'll be his introduction back in after college football. So,
I love it.
Comedy relief. Vince McMahon joins the Royal Rumble.
Ew.
Oh
no.
He will get. It was fun.
Oh my god.
If I was there, I would throw a big chunk of ice cube right at his head.
Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Don't fight me!
I'm waiting.
got the
I'm totally waiting on my inappropriate joke. I am not doing that on air tonight. No.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be throwing ice cubes, not
But-
in the head.
But the whole thing with the Rumble.
guys,
Sorry.
So I think everybody's done their picks. So I think we'll go ahead and promote, and we'll send everybody off for the night. We'll start with Saint.
I just muted my mic. I was letting everybody else go first. So
Sorry.
as originally announced, I'm no longer going to be on sabbatical this week. I was not doing a Sunday show and I was not doing a Thursday night show, but guess what? Now I'm doing a Thursday show, a Saturday show, and a Sunday show. Because I'm not disappearing like I had planned on. Yeah, things happen. And I've got one eye open so I can make sure I can focus on you folks just fine. No, my left eye's twitching. Anyway, yeah, Thursday night indie spotlight right here, Facebook Live, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all that good stuff. Same thing with the Sunday show, which is called The Wrestling Wire, which can be downloaded on all your favorite podcast networks.
All right, guys.
Do you want me to do it, Joe? Can I do it?
Okay, you go for it, Geekums.
So, should I make the announcement about Thursday or?
That's what we were about to say, Gong.
All right. So this Thursday, we will be having at 8 p.m. the King of Scots. He is KJ Mack, and he'll be live on the Dudes at Ringside podcast this Thursday night at 8 p.m.
And he's closing Long Island Wrestling Month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. We thank y'all. Thank you guys for coming on, sharing thoughts and memories of Jay Briscoe, offering your other thoughts as well. Always have a blast with you guys. And we thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm sorry we didn't get to the comments like we normally do. But
Just
we'll
go through them
definitely,
now.
huh?
Just go through them now.
There's too many.
There's way too many. How many are there?
Really?
Got a lot
Well,
there.
we did a pretty decent job of getting to the important ones anyway. Well, not like all of them are
Yeah.
important, but you know.
Sugar
what
Shane, Austin Theory wins it. I
Yeah,
don't
I saw
think
that. I'm like,
I can't see that. I
Okay.
can't see that, Shane. I can't see that, Sugar Shane.
You keep saying Sugar Shane. Me and Geek know a Sugar Shane from Canada, so he would fight you.
Well, all right. So you remember that movie Ready to Rumble?
Yes.
So, Sugar Daddy Sean Duncan. So now that's why I'm calling Sugar Shane. Sugar Shane.
That's another
right.
person you need to have on
Tom
your podcast.
gave him that name, so it's official. I mean, there's no way to change it now.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
it's still tough.
Yep.
But we do thank you guys for tuning in, hanging out with us. We will definitely see y'all again next time. Until then.
Oh.
And also, guys, I also have a show, TRWC Tailgate Party tomorrow, TRWC Tailgate Party on Friday, and we're also having a special edition Saturday at 3 p.m. So.
Oh crap! We may just have to collaborate on Saturday.
Okay.
Okay.
See y'all.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye,
night.
everybody. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all of you.
Stay sweet.
Bye. Oh goodness, where'd it go?
Let me know when we're off air.